What is going on, everybody? Xaenca here, back once again to bring you another dose of toxic masculinity, or so they say. Friendly reminder as always, links to the previous videos are in the description down below if you did happen to miss them, and if you do end up enjoying this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. So here we are, third weekend of Captain Marvel at the box office, and it just passed $900 million worldwide. Now at this rate, a lot of people are saying that it is in fact going to pass $1 billion, and well, that would be another very subpar, very average movie hitting over $1 billion at the box office. Now to commemorate the sheepdom that people have become, why don't we play some Captain Marvel hater bingo created by the SJWs themselves. Someone sent this to me recently and I thought it was pretty funny, so let's play along. So we're gonna go square by square, left to right, starting with people will go see any Marvel movie. Now that definitely supports the argument as to why it reached 900 million right now, and it is on pace to reach over $1 billion. Again, the film is reviewed at a 6 or 7 out of 10, with anti-SJWs giving it a lot less and SJWs giving it a lot more. But either way, the film is very average or subpar. And a testament to the success of the MCU over the last decade, now people really will go out of their way just to watch a Marvel movie. Now it's really a question of how long can they really keep that up in Phase 4 if they keep shoving political agendas within their films, but as of this moment, yeah, I would say that people will go see any Marvel movie. The Avengers cast hates her. We've talked about this in a previous video, but it's not really difficult to put 2 and 2 together. Scarlett Johansson has been with the MCU for nearly a decade, over a decade if you count when she was under contract already. And Elizabeth Olsen has been around a while now too, and basically it's like their contributions are being invalidated by Brie Larson and Captain Marvel stepping into the picture. All this talk about first female led MCU, oh my god, whammons, where was all that support with Black Widow and Scarlet Witch? And considering people have been asking for a Black Widow movie for how long now, and then Brie Larson comes in and Captain Marvel gets a film before she does? Also, once again, she's not very likable. She's not a likable person in real life. And based on that Jimmy Kimmel appearance, she apparently hates certain people in the Avengers cast, so it really would be just a mutual hatred of one another. Why didn't Fury page her earlier? Now this is the problem when you retcon things. When you go back in time and you change certain things, like you say Captain Marvel was a part of this universe all along, and then you go back and you look at the movies and you're like, well, Infinity War was not the first Earth-threatening event that happened. Like, where was the pager at during the Chitauri invasion? And then after that film, Fury went out and said, oh, that was our first contact with the aliens, and retconning ruins everything, basically. Next one, she's too powerful. Well, when she's universally touted as a Superman without kryptonite, yeah, she's too powerful. And then they'll say, well, she has a weakness, they just didn't show it yet. Well, don't you think the origin story would be a good time to show the goddamn weakness? I mean, that's where we learn about the character, right? I only went to see it for the after credits scene. Now what they really mean by this are people only went to see it to see how it connects to Endgame, and that's usually with the after credits scene. Now people definitely did this. I spoke out against it before the movie came out, that if that's really all you're going to see the movie for, then just wait until people tell you what the after credits scene was. And when I heard what the after credits scene was, I was like, yeah, that took little to no imagination whatsoever to figure out that that would happen. Next one is the real fans. Now if by this they mean the comic book fans, then yes, this argument has been made a lot. But if it's just the real fans, then I've not made that argument, but yeah, I have seen videos where people made that argument, so that gets a pass, I've seen it. They ruined the Skrulls. Now with this one, I'm gonna have to wonder if the bingo squares are what the SJWs consider bad arguments, because the creator of Carol Danvers and the main conceptualizer of the Kree Skrull War in the comics, also the first successor to Stan Lee as editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics, has gone out and said he hates what they did to the Skrulls in Captain Marvel. Actually, the one thing I really hated in a film was turning the Skrulls into a peace-loving race, with the Kree as the heavies. As far as I'm concerned, as the principal conceptualizer of the Kree Skrull War, and I suspect Stan Lee and Jack Kirby would have agreed with me, the Skrulls and the Kree are each as bad as each other, as they say. Having the Skrulls all mushy and family-friendly at the end left a bad taste in my mouth. But I loved them for most of the movie when they were doing the shape-shifting stuff that looked, and as far as I'm concerned, were downright evil. So yeah, I'm gonna have to side with Roy Thomas on this one. I think they ruined the Skrulls. What if she said she didn't want black women to review the movie? She would have been fired, easy, or she would have an onslaught of attacks online forcing her to quit, or something like that. But that's the point, her saying that, oh, I don't need a white dude to tell me, I mean, that's a acceptable, right? You can be racist towards white people, and you can be a misogynist towards men. But why is that? It's the same kind of prejudice. Next, we got Get Woke, Go Broke. Yeah, it hasn't affected Captain Marvel yet, or Marvel in general yet, but it definitely has affected Star Wars. It's affected like EA and Battlefield V, Ghostbusters 2016. And when I say it hasn't affected Marvel, I mean the movies. It has affected the comics. Just look at how many comic books are shutting down now because people don't want to read that crap. It is a real thing. People don't want politics shoved into their entertainment. So yeah, not yet, but eventually it will if they keep it up. She needs to smile more. Maybe she wouldn't come off as such a twat if she did. Because you know what the other characters do? They smile a lot. It gives them some personality. Something that a lot of people said Carol Danvers was just lacking in. The SJW idea that smiling is a weakness or being told to smile is sexist is just bullshit, because I've been told to smile a lot in my life. Smiling is a universal language. It's a human language. You go to another country that doesn't speak whatever language that you speak, and you may not understand each other, but the smile lets the other know that you're not hostile. So basically in the movie you made Captain Marvel hostile. She doesn't smile a lot. She's not inviting. So maybe she does need to smile more. Brie Larson's ass is too flat.
Oh my god, Becky, look at her butt.
So everyone that doesn't like the movie is a misogynist? Maybe not everyone, but everyone that doesn't like the movie are apparently trolls. I would say like half of the articles that came out that were talking about people that didn't like the movie were labeled as misogynists. But universally, the articles that came out that were talking about people that didn't like the movie were all labeled as trolls. The SJW agenda, which they clearly have. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They called it a feminist movie. They had on-the-nose references that only intersectional feminists really give a shit about. Brie Larson said that this movie was her activism and this would be the year of intersectional feminism. They changed the Skrulls entirely, which we just talked about, to have some kind of commentary on immigration. This is not a question, this is a fact. There is an SJW agenda with this movie. It ruined the character of Nick Fury. From what I've seen people talk about it, they said that they made Nick Fury out to be like some bumbling buffoon following Carol Danvers around, that she was bossing him around like a dog. And the whole how he lost his eye is just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It got scratched by the cat and got infected. Wow. I guess that explains when he told Captain America, the last time I trusted somebody I lost an eye. It was the cat that he trusted. The cat. Wow. Now I'm not supposed to take him seriously at all because every time he says something in reference to his eye, he's talking about being scratched by a cat. Amazing. I would say from the eye thing alone, they did ruin Nick Fury. Next up is I'm not allowed to have an opinion? Well, see, here's the thing, right? The SJW belief set revolves around censoring opposing ideas. A few weeks ago, somebody commented, like, when the Rotten Tomatoes thing was happening, saying, like, serves you trolls right that you're not allowed to comment before the movie comes out anymore. And I responded along the lines of, see, that's where we differ. I would not advocate for silencing the opinion of the SJWs. They're free to have them. Like, I don't agree with 95% of what the Mary Sue puts out, for instance, but I wouldn't wish to deplatform or censor them. His response was along the lines of, it's not censorship if it's suppressing the trolls because the opinion of trolls don't count. But clearly we've seen that to the SJWs any opposing ideas are trolls, so just more mental gymnastics that they like to play to justify their belief sets. Disney paid for good reviews. Well, there's definitely evidence that they could have botted them. There's plenty of fake reviews on Rotten Tomatoes saying the same thing over and over again. I'll make it very simple and clear. And paid is a strong word. I think more that they muscle people into writing good reviews. Like that sci-fi thing that came out. It was a podcast or whatever, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he was like, sometimes you have to play ball. We all do it, you know, to be invited to the premieres and all these things. We have to play ball and write good reviews, basically, is what he's saying. Now, that doesn't really surprise me. I already suspected that that was a thing. It's kind of like the IGN meme where all AAA video game releases get an 8 or 9 out of 10 at least. Keeps them in good standing, keeps getting them the free stuff, and it's the same with people who write about movies. And this is why more and more people are turning away from mainstream media and going to people on YouTube for opinions on movies. Next, Brie Larson hates white men. I'm leaning towards yes, she does. Based on her demeanor, her body language, the way she said what she said, the tone, the head bob, and everything. The choice of words for both the Crystal Lucy speech and the Marie Claire interview. There's a way you can say the things that she was trying to say without showing a complete disdain for white men, that her brain just could not maneuver around because she might have an inherent disdain for white men, which is probably caused by her father leaving her when she was 6 and never really reconciling their relationship. Next up, I would have loved a Black Widow movie. Same here, recently somebody commented saying that the only reason we wanted a Black Widow movie and not this Captain Marvel movie is because we find Scarlett Johansson more attractive than Brie Larson. Though a lot of people probably find Scarlett Johansson a lot more attractive than Brie Larson, I think that's bullshit. People have been asking for a Black Widow movie for years now, before Captain Marvel was even a thought. Her comment also suggested that that would be stupid because Black Widow doesn't have any powers, which is like a really stupid argument because neither does Batman, neither does the Punisher, and he's one of my favorites, and there are plenty of popular characters that do not have any powers. I made the argument to her that having no powers does not make a character bad. I think having too much power makes a character bad. Besides that, Natasha Romanoff just has a much more interesting and tragic backstory than Carol Danvers does. So yeah, I would have loved a Black Widow movie. Ooh, the next one hits me in particular. I didn't see the movie, but here is my opinion. If I were to make an SJW version of this is where I would put the square. I never heard of any of these characters before the movies. Next, Shazam is the real Captain Marvel. Cause he is? I mean, how can you dispute that? I don't understand. You can easily find it, just Google it. I mean, what the hell? You'll defend any movie that has a woman in it. Never heard this argument made before. This might be one that I disagree with because they were definitely attacking Alita. Now, if you change this to you will defend any movie with a Mary Sue character in it, perfect, flawless, can't be defeated woman in it, then yeah, I would agree with that argument. Would you look at that? Next one, I wasn't even looking to be honest. Next one is she's a Mary Sue. Perfect, flawless, can't be defeated, handles everything easily. No real character arc. Yeah, she's a Mary Sue. Next, Alita Battle Angel is better. And I don't think it would be fair of me to say since I haven't seen Captain Marvel, but Alita Battle Angel is a really good movie. And a lot of anti-SJWs do say that it is better than Captain Marvel, so there you go. Next up, Pepe the Frog Avatar. That's weird. I haven't seen any with Pepe the Frog avatars, but I mean, if I were to make the SJW version of this bingo, this is where I'd put cartoon character, oftentimes an animal, with Skittles colored hair as their avatar, and pronouns in their profile description. And last but not least, Rotten Tomatoes is censoring us, because they are. They deleted 54,000 user reviews. A lot of people say they posted a negative review, they check back later and it's gone. Meanwhile, as we saw, they don't delete the spam-botted fake positive reviews. They removed the want to see percentages as Captain Marvel's want to see percent was going into a downward spiral in the 20s. But then again, like I said with the earlier comment, to the SJWs that is not censorship. To them, suppressing the trolls is not censorship because the opinion of trolls don't count. And to them, anybody with opposing views or don't like this movie, for example, are trolls. So there you go, it's not censorship to them. But that was fun. A lot of these squares were factual, so I don't know why they would put them on here as if they were bad arguments. Or maybe the SJWs are a little bit self-aware, which is amazing to me if that were the case, because they usually aren't. But what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. If you did happen to enjoy this video, make sure to hit that like button and share it with your friends, family, whoever you would think would be interested in nonsense like this. And subscribe, ring that notification bell, click that always so you can always be alerted every time I put out another one of these T-bone steaks. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.